Good evening to all. Today is our day for the third episode in our series of optimal health discussions. And today we will be talking about how to better our immunity. Better immunity, stronger you. Just to introduce myself once again to those who do not know me, who have not met me yet in our previous episodes. I am by background an instrumentation and electronics engineer. I am not from the medical profession in any way, but through passion had developed some expertise and knowledge into the wellness field. As an engineer, I had the opportunity to work with various blue chip multinational companies, both in India and abroad, at varying levels of seniority up to senior management. I did get the opportunity to teach some allied subjects outside my profession, of course, in a very reputed government college in Kolkata in the cardiothoracic department. Definitely my passion towards holistic wellness increased by the day. I became a certified wellness counselor, and along the way, I did have the opportunity and do have the opportunity to speak at times in some public discourses in gatherings of doctors on the wellness domain. Today, I would like to share with you my knowledge about immunity and we and us. Maybe you could take back some of this for your own benefit and share the same even with your friends and relatives if they might get benefited from these. Before we start, I want to touch on one subject first, that is optimal health. We have been talking, if you see our posts in our Facebook group, Holistic Wellness Pristine You, we have talked a lot about the 4 pillars of optimal health: exercise, rest, nutrition, positive mental attitude. I was reading a book by a celebrity MD doctor, Dr. Duke Johnson, who has remained director of medicine, advisor of medicine for 18 to 20 years in reputed hospitals and colleges, medical hospitals and colleges in California, USA. And in his book, I was reading that he says that the optimal health revolution is a process of changing the way we live so that we can live longer in better health, a life full of energy and vitality. He says, not I, he says that there are lots of agencies who use the word revolution with vested interest only to promote their products. Well, if you take the case of a chiseled body actor or a Barbie doll type of figure of a model or an actress, they become the brand ambassadors for those products. Optimal health is glorified. Do you really feel that you can become like them? Can I become like them? Are those people on some medication to be that way? I don't know. I'm just saying the book says so. Or will they definitely live longer than us very healthily? If you think the answer is a no, then Dr. Johnson says optimal health revolution is not about how we look. It is about how we feel about staying healthy, living longer healthily. If we can understand this, we change our beliefs and start living and leading and behaving a healthier life. He says optimal health is the best health you are capable of. given your past and your genetic heritage. You may have made mistakes till now in lifestyle. You may not have the best of genetics in the family, but the optimal health pathway leads you to the longest, healthiest life possible for you starting today. Everyone doesn't live to the same age, but the earlier one starts, the longer and better one can live. With this prelude, let us come to our subject today, better immunity, stronger you. I'll just share a screen so that we can explain this better. You see, we are talking about building immunity. When we talk of building immunity, let me give you a story first. Say there is a country flanked by other countries, obviously, some of which are enemy countries and some of which are friendly countries. You know, there are soldiers deployed at the border. They protect those borders from the enemies who come in. Friends are allowed to come in, of course. Now, what happens is, when the enemies come in, those soldiers surround those enemies and kill them. The border is safe, the country is safe. Problem is when there are some intruders who come in and the soldiers are unable to recognize whether they are friends or foes. Then comes in the intelligence department, who immediately try to find out who are those people coming in, those intruders who are coming in. As they decide that they are enemies, they are intruders, immediately more force, backup force is deployed to the border. They are instructed to kill all those intruders. These soldiers start killing those. The war is over, the intruders are finished. The area was definitely in a bit of a jeopardy because of the war situation. Medical teams rush in. They try to revive people who are injured and make life normal for everyone again. What if the intelligence department is unable to understand whether, or fails to understand whether all the intruders have been killed? The soldiers are just going on shooting. They do not know whom they are shooting. They turn inwards, start killing the countrymen also. And there is an utter chaos happening there. Some drastic measures have to be taken to set everything in order again. Let us extrapolate and interpolate this to our immunity system. We are talking of viruses and bacteria. They are pathogens. They are enemies. The entry point, the border of our country there, our body is the country, are the nose and the mouth. Friends come in, enemies come in, we eat food, we drink liquid, we breathe air. They are friends. When the enemies are there, the force at the border are the leukocytes, the white blood cells, phagocytes, macrophages, etc. They immediately surround the enemies and kill them. Up to here, everything is good. Problem happens when these soldiers are unable to recognize some people come in, some intruders. They are unrecognized intruders. Then comes the time when help is required from the intelligence department. T helper cells, before that there are T cells. These are lymphocytes. These are defense mechanism. Till now, these soldiers at the border, the white blood cells, they were our innate immunity. But now what is required is acquired or adaptive immunity to deal with these unrecognized intruders. These lymphocytes or T cells, they are produced in the bone marrow and they travel to the thymus. Thymus is a small gland that lies in the upper chest under the breastbone. Their work, their job is to produce lymphocytes. Helper T cells are a subdivision of these lymphocytes. They are T lymphocyte cells if described in a different way. These helper T cells, they are, technically they are called CD4 plus, etc. They coordinate and participate in the immune system. As soon as they understand that intruders are there, they talk with the B cells. What are the B cells? The B cells are cells which produce antibodies to fight pathogens. The cells have spike proteins in them. During the COVID times, there were most of us had taken some vaccines, whether Covishield, Covaxin, or other types. How was Covishield made? Covishield is basically, it was made with the help of an inactive adenovirus molecule, common influenza. There in the laboratory, some coat proteins, spikes were put in at different, on the outer shell to clone the COVID viruses that normally attack us. These B cells then see those and start producing antibodies. Those antibodies are Y type of structures which go and sit on those spike proteins on the virus and stop them from replicating anymore. So work of the B cells is to produce antibodies, but there are also some cytokines. What are they? T cell cytokines. T cell cytokines. What are they? They are small proteins which are secreted on the instruction of the T helper cells. They go and activate cells called T cytotoxic cells. These are the soldiers deployed actually, the real soldiers who are deployed, and they start shooting the unrecognized intruders who are actually enemies. What they do is they impel the cell wall, surround the viruses and kill them. So T cytotoxic cells are there, activated by the cytokines, and they shoot the intruders. Now everything is over. The T suppressor cells come into play, where they help to slow down the immune response system after the infection is gone. They ask the T cytotoxic cells to stop shooting. Problem happens if before that, let us come to another point. When everything is over, antioxidants. We had discussed in our previous episode, antioxidants are molecules which have excess number of electrons in the outer shell. Oxidative stress occurs in the body tremendously, due to which free radicals are created. We won't go into details once again this time. Please check our episode 2 and you will get all details there. Those free radicals have lost electrons from each of the molecules. These antioxidants have excess number of electrons in the outer shell, so they happily give up one of their electrons to the free radical. Actually, they are oxygen atoms, to the positive ions, to the free radicals, to make them stable again. These antioxidants are available in colored foods, phytonutrients, and through good supplementation. Problem happens now if the T cell suppressor cells are not working. If they are not working and cytokines keep on remaining activated to remain activated. During COVID times, remember there was something called cytokine storm. This is exactly it. This cytokine storm causes tremendous amount of these proteins, activation proteins, to come into the body, activates and reactivates and enhances the work of the T cytotoxic cells, who keep on shooting anywhere and everywhere within the body, damaging even our good cells and causing inflammation, organ damage, respiratory distress, organ failures, etc. When organs start failing, even after the COVID situation had gone, lots of people definitely, even now, suffer from post-COVID symptoms. The doctor, to stop these, gives steroids. Steroids are given externally. These T cytotoxic cells are instructed not to go on shooting anymore. But steroids also have their own side effects and long-term bad effects. Should we take them? Should we say no to steroids? How can we strengthen our immune system so that we are free from all these? How can we strengthen our immune system so that we have good lymphocyte cells working for us, which includes T helper cells, T cytotoxic cells, of course, during inflammation, T suppressor cells, etc. We will talk about that. That is our main motive. How to take experience from the adaptive immunity and strengthen our innate immunity. Where are the T cells located? They are located in high concentrations in bone marrow, intestines, lungs, lymph nodes, spleen, tonsils, etc. Sometimes we see now that's when people have tonsillitis and it becomes chronic, which means our own fortress has become an enemy fortress. Then the tonsils have to be taken out because they are working against us. Autoimmune diseases which affect the T cells could be like acute lymphocytic leukemia, adult Hodgkin's lymphoma, HIV, etc., Job syndrome, thymic aplasia, etc. We'll not go into details because we'll keep it very, generalized. So now comes the point, what lifestyle changes do we need to make to keep our immune system healthy? Here I would like to bring up another point. You see, the Health World, in the Health World magazine on March 5th, there was an article which says that the World Obesity Federation's 2023 predicts that 51% of the population, or more than 4 billion people, will be obese or overweight within the next 12 years. Obesity is a silent killer. Diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, heart failures, arrhythmia, etc. can happen from being overweight. What do we need to do? I was just reading in the Times Network just 2 to 3 days back that in the Rajya Sabha it was brought up by the Junior Health Minister Bharati Praveen Pawar that the incidence of cancer in India is projected to touch 15.7 lakh per year by 2025. And these are based on projections by the Indian Council of Medical Research National Cancer Registry Program. So it is not that I'm trying to threaten anyone. If you have seen the newspaper on 23rd March, it says that COVID cases in the last 3 weeks have doubled in India. Newly. Of course, it's a very, very paltry number. And the doctors also, the report also says that the symptoms are mild. But yes, things can happen. So where are we? What is required? A healthy lifestyle, proper nutrition, and a good supplementation regime. Let us talk a little on this now. You know, what lifestyle changes? Let me just go out of this. Yeah. So let's discuss again. You see, it is recommended that we try to avoid alcohol. If we need to consume alcohol, no problem. It's absolutely our life. We consume moderately. We need to eat diet filled with fruits, vegetables. I've made some notes. I'll just consult my notes. Whole grains, lean proteins, healthy fats. Exercise regularly and consistently. Exercises like strengthening exercises, flexibility exercises, aerobic activity. Of course, depends on the age we are in, our medical and physical conditions. Definitely, if required, we should consult an expert before doing any sort of these sorts of exercises. But plain walking is always good. Lots of people give lots of reasons, which are actually excuses for not walking. We require to walk. It's very, very important. We'll touch on that subject, what good it can do in another episode later on. Sleep, 7 to 8 hours per 24 hours. I'm not saying day, I'm not saying night, I'm not saying at a stretch, but 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep within 24 hours. Maybe twice, thrice, once, whatever. Smoking. If we are smokers, please, let's quit smoking. If we haven't started, please let us not start. Wash hands frequently with soap and water to kill germs and to avoid germs. Soap will not kill germs often, but we can avoid germs. Sometimes they do. Use face mask in polluted and closed infected areas. You know, the new normals after COVID. We need to follow them. The viruses, they need a host, a body, our body, where they latch on to corrupt cells or damaged cells due to oxidative stress, which is happening in our body always. And if there are no corrupt cells, the viruses won't get a place to latch on. They latch on and replicate. They need a host. So who stops that? There are, we take macronutrients like protein, carbohydrate, fats, fiber, water, though we often say they are not nutrients, but yes. And micronutrients, extremely important, which are minerals and vitamins, which help to protect our organs, protect our system, protect our body. At the gate, the gatekeepers for us are zinc and vitamin D. Vitamin D helps to stop replication of the viruses. How do we get vitamin D? Of course, from different food is there, milk, yogurt, they are also there, and a lot of sun exposure. Many of us work nowadays indoors throughout the day. Apart from a supplementation of vitamin D, it's extremely helpful and beneficial if we could at least find out some time during lunch, during whatever, to go and expose ourselves to the sun. It's good, especially if possible during the morning hours when the sun is not that bright, still a bit reddish or orangish in color. It helps. What does zinc do? Zinc helps to stop, kills the corrupt cells. They instruct the, what should I say, WBC, the leukocytes, to kill the corrupt cells. You know, if some part of our body is already in such a state that it cannot be revived, as I was talking about tonsillitis, chronic tonsillitis, maybe, or sometimes appendicitis, then we need to remove them. Similarly, some corrupt cells which cannot be revived, but they might, you know, a rotten potato or a rotten tomato may, what should I say, destroy the whole basket of potatoes and tomatoes. Similarly, if some cells are bad, they need to be killed. Zinc instructs the white blood corpuscles to kill them. They are our gatekeepers, right at the nose of the mouth, helping our innate immunity, the border forces, the leukocytes. Where can we get zinc apart from supplementation? Oysters, blue crab, pumpkin seeds, cheddar cheese, milk, yogurt, lentils, shrimp, etc. Then comes the vitamin C, an extremely strong antioxidant for us in the watery areas of the body. Vitamin D, E, A, they are for the fatty areas of the body. Watery areas are the lungs and upper respiratory tract. Vitamin C helps to increase T cell availability, our intelligence stores. We need to keep those healthy, the lymphocytes. We need to keep that part healthy from starting at the bone marrow. We need to keep it healthy. To the thymus. Thymus needs to be very healthy to be able to produce those lymphocytes. Vitamin C helps them. There are some Ayurvedic, also like Vasaka, Tulsi, etc., which can always help accordingly, as we want to. Supplementation. Vitamin C can be got from in food, red and green bell peppers, orange and citrus fruits, kiwi, strawberries, raw broccoli, etc. Next comes a very important antioxidant again for the fatty areas, vitamin E. They modulate our immune system. They regulate the responses in the immune system. In food, it can be got from sunflower seeds, almonds, peanuts, spinach, broccoli, tomato, etc. Another extremely important vitamin here is vitamin B6. B6 help in lymphocyte maturation. I had said the lymphocytes start at the bone marrow, go to the thymus, mature in the thymus, and come out. You know, some people are born with a defective thymus, some babies. We did not go into details of those subjects earlier, this time. So lymphocyte maturation is helped by vitamin B6, and antibody production for the B cells are helped by vitamin B6. Where can we get B6? Chickpea, salmon, tuna, chicken breast, bananas, potato, cottage cheese, winter squash, etc., etc. Selenium, extremely important for our immunity. They regulate excess immune responses and inflammation. For the T suppressor cells, extremely important to keep them healthy is selenium. Selenium can be got from Brazil nuts, tuna, lean meat, brown rice, cottage cheese, eggs, oatmeal, milk, yogurt, etc. Lentils. What else? Vitamin A, beta carotene, precursors. Beta carotene is a precursor for vitamin A. Very, very, very important vitamin as an anti-inflammatory vitamin for us. Helps to keep the body cool, the eyes healthy. Eye to brain connection we had discussed in our previous episodes. They remain healthy with vitamin A. Antioxidants, as I said, the best way to get them is from food if we have a diet full of colors. If we do not get these always, it's good to consult someone who understands and can direct us to a good supplementation regime along with the food that we take. Because the food that we take nowadays is not always the best of or the purest and healthiest of things that we used, that our grandfathers used to say they consumed. So unsaturated short chain fatty acids like omega-3, extremely important for our body. Omega-3 is called a wonder molecule of the modern world. Helps to reduce inflammation, reduce obesity in an indirect way, keep our brain cells active so that long-term use can keep away, I would say, or prevent the development of Alzheimer, Parkinson's, dementia, etc. in the long run. They keep our brain cells, the electrical signals there are kept healthy. We'll not go into details this time here. Increase water intake. Another Ayurvedic supplement which can be taken, or however you want to take it, is ashwagandha. So if we do these, a lot of antioxidants, etc., will definitely help to keep our body healthy, will help to better our optimal health as we were talking. Some lifestyle changes will definitely help us to live healthier for whatever length of life we live. If there was some takeaway today for you from this session, you are most welcome to share it with your friends, relatives, etc. And in our next session, sometime later on, there was some requests from some quarters, and maybe we will touch on a subject of stress management. In the modern world, we are facing a lot of stress. With some positive attitude, stress management with positive attitude, we will talk about. We will talk about ego states. We will talk about transactional analysis. We will talk about how we can remain positive and feed our brains more in this, what should I say, very competitive world. Till next time for that, if you feel you would like to discuss or share anything with me, please visit our Facebook group, Holistic Wellness Pristine You. There you can DM me, or on my personal Facebook page also, pagebook of Avijit Dutt. You can do it there also. Whoever has my WhatsApp number can interact there. We can always share ideas. Maybe I will have so many things to learn from you also. So nice talking to you, taking your leave today. Good night, everyone.